Hey everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of Nicole. So the next cutscene is on November 14th, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start. I'm innocently doing homework in my room when I freeze and slowly pull my earbuds out of my ears to take a look around my small room. What was that? It sounded like something banging against the wall. Chandra's not here. It couldn't have been her. Maybe it was from the next room over? Dorm room walls are notoriously thin. But no, once I see my door shaking, I realize someone's knocking, and they really want in. I wonder who the heck it is. Coming! I hop off my bed and head over to my door to open it. The moment it is, the person rushes past me, and I reel back moments too late to avoid them stepping all over me. I hope your proverbial seat is taken because I have news. Fantastic news. I don't even have to look behind me to know who it is. That overly excited tone is enough to give it away. You know, it's considered rude to just barge in before you're invited. And I have no idea why I'm telling you this because you're probably way too hyped to listen. Niceties can slide. This is a momentous occasion. For you see, Jeff Ryan, have deduced the location of the second troublesome ingredient. I raised my eyebrows a little in surprise. It hasn't been that long since we found the midnight trumflower. Thinking about that time makes me grab my right arm and run my fingers over the freshly changed bandages there. I only learned how to change them because Jeff taught me. I should be able to take them off in a few days or so. So you finally found out where to find that Uptunia thing? Jeff nods eagerly. Yes, I don't know how I overlooked it. All I had to do was search online, like what you do on your phone when you think I'm not paying attention. Oh, I know he can see me, but our girl can only listen to someone go on and on before she gets bored. Still, I play it off humbly. Oops. But that's all it took? Seriously? I could have done that. Jeff wags a finger at me as if I'm getting ahead of myself. Learning about Uptunia was a simple task. It was the fruit born of the cactus, by the way. Why not just call it cactus fruit, then? That would be way too simple, hardly becoming of the past alchemists that came before me. Wouldn't that be better than being unnecessarily hard? I want to ask Jeff that, but I get the feeling it'd just rain on his parade. Anyway, if Uptunia is just cactus fruit, we can buy it somewhere, right? Incorrect. Uptunia is such a rare and troublesome ingredient that supermarkets and the like rarely have them in stock. But, Jeff pronounces this but with exaggerated tone of voice someone uses before boasting. It so happens that a certain restaurant in town serves cactus fruit on their menu. Not alone, mind you, but still, it shouldn't be too difficult to pick out the pieces and save them. Okay, so all we have to do is buy whatever it is that has the cactus fruit and take it home. That's easy. Not exactly. Nervously, Jeff adjusts the collar of his shirt. Remember how I said Uptunia is rare and troublesome ingredient? Uh-huh. Oh. It should have been obvious from a mile away. This restaurant you're talking about, it's a real fancy one, isn't it? Yes. The type of high-class restaurant that doesn't provide takeout. In order for us to obtain some pieces of Uptunia, we would have to go and dine there like regular patrons. I don't know if I can afford that kind of place, Jeff. I already have enough trouble budgeting as it is. Do not worry, assistant. I doubt it will be that expensive, though I have no data to support my claim. If it comes down to it, I will cover you. I stand there in surprise. Is he serious? I don't know exactly how much this restaurant would cost to eat at, but it can't be cheap. Jeff, no. I can pay for myself, promise. I mean, we haven't even seen the prices yet. It's too early to be wigging out about money. Certainly so. However, I have planned on going to that restaurant tonight. Wait, tonight? Tonight? No time to dally. Yeah, I get it. Gotta make that potion, blah blah blah. I look over at my book and MP3 player back on my bed. My notebook's still left open to the page I was working on. I never thought I'd be saying this, but I don't know if I can go tonight. Sorry, I have homework to do. I shouldn't put it off. I brace myself, expecting Jeff to go into some tirade about how I'm the assistant and I should do whatever he says. He doesn't do that. Jeff grows silent, and I watch, oddly surprised by how he seems to think of alternative times. When will you be free then? How about tomorrow? It's Friday, right before the weekend, so it's perfect to stay out late. Excellent, excellent, it will do. Jeff turns to the door and nods his head. I'll see myself out. Goodbye, assistant. Wait, did he really just wish me goodbye? The only time I hear that is when Jeff's faking nice. What's going on with him? So now we've got options, so there's bluntly pointed out and ask about it. And what we're gonna wanna do is ask about it. Wait, before you go, can I ask what's up with you lately? What's up with me? You're acting different. Not bad different, but different. So nice different. I didn't say that, but yes, it's nice different. I smile and cross my arms in front of my chest. Before you would barely take my word into account. I was half expecting you to blow up at me when I asked to reschedule. Ah, I see, sure. It is annoyingly inconvenient that I have to wait another day, but if it's what you require, I've decided to be more responsive to your needs. Oh, that's really cool of you, Jeff. Thank you. Though you kind of make me sound like I'm some kind of house pet. I'm sure you would be a popular one, such as a cat or a guinea pig. Anyway, as I was saying, I'll be leaving now. Tomorrow evening, we shall find the Uptunia. Be ready. I'll be ready, Freddy. Once the door slams closed behind Jeff, I head back to my bed and get back to my homework. However, my mind's racing around so fast that I can barely concentrate on what I was doing. So tomorrow, it'll just be me and Jeff at a nice restaurant together. Does that mean it's a date? I grit my teeth and grab my pillow tight to my chest. Don't get me wrong, I'm not repulsed by the idea, but, it's weird. We're only friends. Can we even be called friends? Well, I think so. I'm one of the only few who knows about his secret self. He's becoming nicer to me. I know way more about him than anyone else. I stop. Is that really saying anything? It's not like I know all that much about him, and it was only recently that I decided to change that. An idea hits me. Maybe I can use this to get to know more about him. That's such a good idea that I could scream. We're going to be eating at that restaurant anyway. Might as well have some small talk while we're at it. If this works out, I'll know more about him than anyone. I grin eagerly at the thought. Maybe that could be a step toward getting Jeff to open up to other people too. I spend the rest of my day buried in my books and notes, and before I know it, tomorrow rolls along. I spend the time in class completely distracted, more absorbed in what the heck I'm going to wear for my high-class night. I think I have something nice in my closet. Oh man, I hope I do. I don't want to look like a total wreck in front of Jeff. You're like a fashionista or something. You probably have nice clothes. I mean, in public. Eventually, I settle on a dark blue maxi dress. My shoulders look a little bare with just that on, so I decide to wear a white open blouse over it. The design is totally made for layering. Kinda inconvenient to wear it on its own, but hey, I look hot. As I do my makeup, I check my phone that I have precariously perched over the sink and check the time. Okay, good. I have a whole hour left until Jeff wanted to meet. I can finish up my makeup, hoof my way over to the front gate, and then we're off on the cactus fruit hunt. It sounds like an awful lot of work just for that. It won't kill me. Eating at a fancy restaurant sounds like it'll be a fun experience. And if I'm being completely honest, I'll probably miss this whole arrangement a little once it's all over. It's admittedly been troublesome at times, but I was never bored. I get up to the school gate 15 minutes early, but Jeff is surprisingly already there, probably to make up for being second to the park last time. Wow, hey there, handsome. I know Jeff's style is always leaned toward the formal side, but dang, he can really rock a suit. He has on this entirely brown ensemble: dress shirt, slacks, tie, blazer. It's the whole shebang. I feel like I'm seeing a whole new side of him. You look great. I love your tie. It's neat. Jeff proudly adjusts the knot on said neat tie. Oh, this? I have several ties. Formal wear is the look of a scientist. Wouldn't you agree? I guess it's stuffy enough. The look on Jeff's face makes me giggle. I'm kidding. I agree, don't worry. What about me, though? Do I look fabulous? I jokingly spin in place to show off my clothes. Not that I expect a serious answer from Jeff. That's what makes his response all the more surprising. Assistant, you look marvelous tonight. Just judging his smile is enough to tell me that he's being sincere. I giggle sheepishly, taking in the praise. Anyway, if we're both looking good, I'd say we're ready to go. Lead the way. Gladly. After you. Jeff sweeps an arm to gesture in front of him. Then we begin walking in step on our way to the town. The Friday night crowd is made up of students from school and older adults. Jeff and I stick out a little in our formal wear, but as we get closer to the fancy restaurant, we start to see more people dressed like us. We actually see tons of people dressed similarly to us. Don't tell me they're all waiting for a chance to eat here. Jeff furrows his brow and looks around the filled waiting area. Stay here. I'll see how long the wait time is. Sure, but don't make me wait here for too long. I'll look like I was stood up. Jeff purses his lips at my choice of priorities, but nods and makes his way into the restaurant. It takes about 10 minutes for Jeff to make his way back, and he doesn't look like he has some good news. Let's talk somewhere else. He gently grabs the crook of my arm and steers me away from the crowd of people. Yep, someone doesn't want to be overheard using his mean voice. It's not until we're at the movie theater near the restaurant that Jeff stops us. Nobody's around. They're all probably inside. How bad is it? A 2-hour wait bad. I suck in air between my teeth. Dang, that's a really long time to wait for some cactus fruit. I know. Huh? Is that all he's going to say? No lecture on why waiting for this fruit was a necessary sacrifice? How our blood, sweat, and tears will pave our way to success? I am not so sure if waiting that long is worth it, but my potion demands it. However, assistant, I don't require for you to be here anymore if that's the case. What? Why? Jeff goes silent. He avoids my gaze for a few moments. There is no need for me to elaborate. An assistant must always follow the orders of his superior. I pout a little at Jeff. Why is he doing this? Then it hits me. Maybe Jeff's trying to send me home so I don't waste my time waiting for the cactus fruit. And if he is, that's so incredibly thoughtful of him. Stubbornly, I place my hands on my hips and give Jeff a look that says I'm not going anywhere. I'm not that good of an assistant, sorry. I take a seat on a nearby bench and cross my legs. If you're staying, I'm staying. That's how this is gonna work. Jeff responds to my stubbornness with a shake of his head, but moves over to stand by my side without putting up a fight. Looks like I'm getting better at persuading him. They gave you one of those beeper things, right? Jeff holds up the black disc in his hand. There's a red glow coming from inside and an advertisement for one of the restaurant's drinks printed in the middle. It kinda reminds me of a fat, fancy coaster. This machine will vibrate and emit obnoxious music when our turn has come up. 2 hours from now. I sigh and slump in my seat. This is going to be a long time to wait. Little did I know how awkward it was going to be, too. We spend the first half hour in awkward silence. It gets to the point where I almost whip out my phone and zone out on Roller. If everything had gone according to plan, I would be getting to know Jeff more over dinner by now. I know we're not technically eating, but... This silence is going to kill me. Jeff looks as he hears me speak up. Physically impossible, but I fully agree with your hyperbole. All right, seat your butt, Jeff. I slap the seat next to me on the bench. We're having us a conversation. Jeff smirks and gracefully drops himself next to me. I see nothing wrong with that. This could be an excellent change to finally discuss the finer points of... Nope. I quickly reach out and press a finger against his lips, and I hold my other hand to my own much in the same way. Once Jeff shows no signs of immediately continuing, I return my hands to my lap. The only rule is that from here on out, talking about alchemy is off limits. Off limits? What could you possibly expect me to talk about then? I want you to talk about yourself. Jeff tilts his head. I don't understand the scientific relevance of this. There's nothing scientifically relevant about it, but honestly, I just want to know more about you, Jeff. I look down and stare at my knees. I'm not sure if I can keep looking right at him if I continue. It's just kind of embarrassing. We've spent all this time together, but it's like I don't know you. You can't be all about alchemy all the time. So I don't care what it is. Anything you want to tell me is fine, like your favorite food, or favorite color, hobbies, music tastes. I shrug, figuring Jeff has gotten the point. I don't want to force you if you really don't want to. I know you're not really used to being that open about what you really like. Jeff nods. It would take me only 4.57 seconds for me to tailor a response to appeal to your personal likes. However, to speak about the things I truly do enjoy. He goes silent as he contemplates whether to go along with it. I hope he does. I want to show him how easy it is to be himself. I know you said the topic was forbidden, but allow me to bring up alchemy for this one instance. There is a law which all alchemists go by, equivalent exchange. You can only proceed an amount equal to what you supply. What I mean to say is if I answer questions, I expect an equivalent exchange of information in return. Are you saying that you want to know more about me too? Precisely. I look to Jeff and try to tell if he's being serious or not, and it doesn't look like he's joking. My lips stretch out into a smile before I can help myself. I don't know why, but knowing that Jeff is interested in getting to know me too makes me happy. Then I'll tell you everything you want to know. Very well. Who should start? That's actually a really good question. Who should start? Should Jeff or should I? So now we've got our options. I'll go first or Jeff can go first. And the one you're going to want to choose is Jeff can go first. I asked you first, so that means that you have to go first. Yay, I got to 100%! Woo! Acceptable. What is it that you wish to know? I come up with a list of basic questions in my head. The ones you'd ask if you met someone at a social gathering for the first time. Where are you from? Florida. Oh, from what area and state? Isn't that irrelevant? Answering with the state alone still provides an adequate answer. Wow, I'd say you totally suck, but you're doing a pretty good job of being yourself. Who else but Jeff would point out the validity of a simple, curious question? Fine. You're from here. That's cool. I'm from all the way on the West Coast, California. Now it's your turn to ask something. I think I've got one. Tell me about your family. Oh, that's surprisingly normal coming from Jeff. I was expecting a question that was more out there. My family is pretty easy to describe. I have a dad, a mom, and a little brother. My mom and brother are back in California, and my dad's here in Florida. He lives a town away. Why do your mother and father live separately? Well, they're separated. They're on good terms, though they weren't always. I chuckle derisively at the next thought that pops into my mind. It's not something that I'd easily tell anyone. I do kind of miss having, like, a real family sometimes, but they're happier this way, so I'm happy for them. That's almost disgustingly noble of you. I lower my eyelids as Jeff sneers at me. Oh, shut up. What about you? What's your family like? I can describe mine as simply as you can. Only my grandparents raised me. My poor mother must have thought that raising a child would impede on her horrible lifestyle. She decided that leaving me with her parents would solve that problem. Oh. What can you even say to something like that? Don't be fooled into thinking that I'm trying to win your sympathy. Perhaps, if my mother did take me with her, that would be the case, but I ended up living far better with my grandparents. They were very kind to me, even though I was my mother's mistake. I knew that, and I didn't want to. Jeff stops and widens his eyes as he just realized something. Is that how it began? Is that how what began? I have always wondered when I first developed the habit of catering my personality to another. Talking about my grandparents now made me realize that it must have started with them. As a child, I did not want to do anything to displease them. They were kind enough to take me in. I decided to watch what they liked and respond in kind, and I eventually ended up doing it like it was second nature to me. God, that's so sad. Oh, I want to hug Jeff so much. Oh, so it was because you wanted to be the best that you could for your grandparents that you started putting on a fake personality. And I ended up doing it for all the interpersonal relationships. How strange. You think that I would have figured it out by now. Maybe you just had to wait to find the right person to open up to. I grin and point at myself. But I doubt anyone else would mind if you acted the way you really are, especially your grandparents. You're not a bad person, you're just different. Isn't that still an insult? I meant it as the best compliment I could think of. Jeff burst out laughing, so loudly that I blush. It wasn't that funny. I see. However, that's not happening anytime soon. Not unless everyone became more like you, assistant. Annoying and pushy? As well as easy to talk to and amusing. I don't know whether to frown because Jeff agreed or to blush because he complimented me. I do a weird mix of both. You're making a strange face. It's all your fault. Jeff shrugs and looks down at his watch to try and check the time. How much time have we killed so far? I check my phone for the time too and frown at what I see. Just a half hour. An hour to go then. Geez, Jeff, I'm sorry, but there has to be an easier way to find cactus fruit. With my phone already out, I figured there's no harm in doing a web search of my own. Come on, Internet, don't fail me now. Results immediately pull up for the term cactus fruit, and I thumb down the list to try and find something relevant. Hey, here's something interesting. Did you know that you can also call Uptunia prickly pears? I squint at my phone screen as I read the next sentence. Actually, that's the name they're best known as. Would searching for that term work better then? I input it into my phone and wait for the results to pop up. Jeff. I turn to him and show him my phone. Did you know that you can buy prickly pear jam at this hipster supermarket that we have here in town? Jeff quickly goes over to my phone screen. His eyes widen as he sees I'm completely serious. That is, vastly cheaper and more efficient. The two of us lock eyes, probably having the same idea. You should probably give them back the beeper. I would, but honestly don't care to. Jeff tosses the beeper into the bench and then takes my hand and pulls me to my feet. To the hipster supermarket, assistant. Won't they think it's weird that we're dressed all fancy like this? The last of my questions scatters into the air as Jeff starts pulling me behind him. No matter. Just think of it as one extravagant shopping trip. You say that, but you're not the one who has to move around in heels. Even as I say that, I'm still laughing behind Jeff's wake. I guess I've been through worse, though. And that's the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more, just click the eye at the top, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.